Hi everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. So my name is Harmtedy, and please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification button there so that whatever that I'll be posting on this channel, you'll always be able to be notified that there's a new video that has been posted, so that you don't miss out the tutorial videos that I'm going to be solving for you in physics and mathematics. So I'm going to be helping you solve mathematics and physics questions. So let's look at this question. This is question 1b in tutorial sheet 1. So the first question is 125 root 5 is equal to 5a. Sorry, this is 5. Let me just write it properly. Yeah, so it's equal to 5a. 5a. Yeah, so the question is find the value of a. So in other words, what I'm trying to ask us is that express the left hand side, which is just this part, as a base of 5. So we know that 125 can be expressed in terms of 5 as a base. It can be written as 5 to the power 3, and then the root of 5 can be written as 5 to the power half. So these are some of the rules that we learned in the previous tutorial. So if you've not watched the first tutorial that I made for question 1a, make sure that you watch. I explained this, and then we have 5 to the power a there. So when you multiply 5 to the power 3 and 5 to the power half, we learned to say if you're multiplying numbers with the same base, you simply just add the powers. So here we're just going to have 5 raised to the power 3 plus half, then this is equal to 5 to the power a. So 3 plus half this is 3 plus half, so we say over 1, and then the common denominator there will be 2. So 1 into 2 is 2, 2 times 3, that will simply give us 6, and then plus 2 into 2, 1, 1 times 1, that will be 1. So when you add that, you're going to get 7 over 2 as your answer. So this, we're going to write it as 5 to the power 7 over 2, and 5 to the power 7 over 2, and this is equal to 5 to the power a. And if the bases are the same in an equation, it means that even the powers are also the same. So what you do is simply just get the powers there. You say 7 over 2 is equal to a. Hence the value of a is simply just 7 over 2, which can be simplified as 2 into 7, that is simply just 3 remainder 1 over 2. So this is exactly the the value of a. So let's quickly move on to the next question. So the next question is 49 over the root of 7. 49 over the square root of 7 then is equal to 7a. So even this one is almost the same as the first one there, except that this one is in terms of 7. So what you simply just do is you express everything that is this side as a base of 7. So how do we express that? We know to say 49 can be written as 7 squared. Or even before we do that, let us first say 49, and then when this 7 is taken on top there, it will have a negative power. So we're going to have the root of 7 there, then we have to the power negative 1, then is equal to 7 to the power a. So what I've just done is that if you have if you have 1 over, let's say, b, this can also be written as b to the power negative 1. That's what it is. So if you have 1 over 2, this one can also be written as 2 to the power negative 1. It's just the same. Okay, so let us now look at this same question here. So we said 49, then the square root of 7 to the power negative 1. So 49 can also be written as, let me just erase this. Okay, so 49 can also be written as 7 squared, 7 to the power 2. And then this 7, the root of 7 can be written as 7 to the power 1 over 2. Then to the power negative half, this is equal to 7 to the power a. So when we multiply numbers with the same base, sorry for that, So if you multiply numbers with the same base like this side, what you simply just do is you add the powers. But before we add the powers, we have 7 to the power 2 there. So I can just write it the way it is. Let me demarcate here. 7 to the power 2 there. And then we have 7 to the power half times negative, this power negative 1. So half times negative 1 there, we have 7 to the power negative half. And then we have this being equal to 7 to the power a. And then we can now add the powers. So the rule is that when you're multiplying numbers with the same base, you add the powers. So we're going to have 7, and then you have 2 plus negative half, which is just the same as 2 minus half. And then this will be equal to 7 to the power a. So 2 minus half, 2 over 1 minus 1 over 2. We find the common denominator 2, then 2 times 2 there. 1 into 2 is 2. 2 times 2 we get 4, minus 2 into 2, 1. 1 times 1 there, it's 1. So this will give us 3 over 2. So this is just the same as 7 raised to the power 3 over 2. So 7 raised to the power 3 over 2. And then we have this is equal to 7 to the power a. Yeah, so what you do from there is that since the bases are the same, it means that the powers are also equal. So meaning the value of a will just be 3 over 2 as the answer. So you can even conclude by saying therefore a is equal to 3 over 2. So a is equal to 3 over 2. Yeah, so the answer is simply just a is equal to 3 over 2. That's the answer. Alright, so this is the value of a. So let us also solve the third question there, which is just rationalizing the denominator. So this one is also simple and straightforward. Let us also take a look at this question. Okay, so we have the question is simplify that to the form a plus the root of b, where a and b are integers. So we have the square root of 2 over 2 root 5 minus 3 root 2. So what we do is that we find what is called the conjugate of the denominator, meaning we're just going to find a number that is going to be exactly as the denominator, but the sign will be different there. It's the number that we're going to multiply with both the numerator and the denominator. So we have the denominator there and the numerator. So the denominator there is 2 root 5, but of course for the conjugate, instead of putting a minus there, we'll put a plus. And then we have 3 root 2. 3 root 2. Same applies to the numerator. The same thing that we've put down here is what we're going to write on top. Plus 3 root 2. So when you multiply the numerator times that, it's just the same as saying the root of 2 times 2 root 5, then plus 3 root 2 there. Then everything, the denominator there, when you multiply this and that, this is just the same as the difference of 2 squares, which can be written as 2 root 5, then squared minus 3 root 2, and then squared. So this can further be simplified. So when you multiply root 2 and root 5 there, this is just the same as having root 10. So when you multiply root 2 times root 5, this is just the same as the square root of 2 times 5, which is just the same as the square root, or there's an equal sign there, which is just the same as the square root of 10 there. So root 2 times root 5 times 2, this is just the same as 2 root 10, and then root 2 times root 2 there, this would simply just give us 2. So the square root of 2 times the square root of 2, this is just the same as the square root of 2 times 2, which is just the same as the square root of 4. Then the square root of 4 is simply just 2. So root 2 times root 2, that is going to give us 2. 2 times 3, that will just be 6. So we're going to have 6 there. And then 2 root 5 squared. So the root of 5 squared is simply just 5. 5 times 2, that will just give us 10. Then minus, we have root 2 times root 2, that is going to be 4. 4 times 3, that will be 6. So we have 6 there. So we can simplify this by writing, we have 2 times root 10, then plus 6, then everything divided by, and then we have 10 minus 6, that is just 4. So this can be written as 2 over 4 root 10 plus 6 over 4, which can further be simplified to 1 over 2 root 10 plus 3 over 2. So when we arrange this in the format that they want it to be, which is a plus a root of b, this is just going to be the same as 3 over 2, then plus 1 over 2 root 10. So this is the expression that they wanted here on this question. It's now in the form a plus the root of b. Alright, so let's quickly move on to this one. So in this question, the question is saying, show that 4 over 2 root 2 minus root 6 is equal to 2 root 2, 2 plus root 3. So this one is simple and straightforward. So what we can just do is, we can find the conjugate, as I said, for the denominator. So let me write the question there. We have 2 root 2 minus root 6. So we find the conjugate of the denominator. So the conjugate of the denominator will simply just be the same denominator, but we'll just change the sign there. Let me just erase what I've written here. Okay, so the conjugate will simply just be 2 root 2. Here there's a minus, meaning here we're going to have a plus. Then we're going to have root 6 there, root 6. Then on top there we write the same, 2 root 2 plus the root of 6. Then we multiply 4 times that. 4 times the numerator is just the same as 4 times 2 root 2 plus root 6. Then everything divided by, this is the difference of two squares. When you multiply this and that, this one and that one, it gives you the difference of two squares. Or if you want, you can multiply them bit by bit. But looking at them, since the only difference we have there is the minus, everything else is the same, we can consider that as a difference of two squares. Meaning we can write that as 2 root 2, and then everything squared minus the root of 6, then squared. So this can also be simplified further as, let me just demarcate there. So we can simplify this. 4 times 2, we get 8 root 2. Then 4 times the root of 6, that will give us 4 root 6. Then everything divided by, then we have the difference of two squares down there. So this will be 4 times 2, that will just give us 8. Then we also have the root of 6 squared, it will just be the same 6. So we can subtract the denominators there. So on top we have 8 root 2 plus 4 root 6. So when we subtract 8 minus 6, the answer that we get is simply just 2. So when you divide 2 into 8, we're getting 4 root 2. Then 2 into 4, the answer is 2 root 6. But they want us to leave our answer in this format. It should look exactly as that. So this one is simple. What you do is, we can simply express this root 6 in terms of root 2. So root 6 in terms of root 2 and root 3, we know that root 6 can also be written as the square root of 2 times 3, which is just the same as the square root of 2 times the square root of 3. So while there's root 6, we can replace by this. Yeah, so we're going to say 4 root 2 times, also there's a plus here, plus, and then we have 2. Then apart from that 2, we also have root 6 there, which is in which can be written as root 2 times root 3. So we have root 2, and then we also have root 3. So we can factorize the common thing here. So the common thing that we have is 2 root 2. We have 2 root 2 because of this 4, 2 can go into 4. So we can factorize 2 root 2. So when we factorize 2 root 2, we're going to have 2 root 2 outside, and then open brackets. Whatever will remain is what we're going to put in the brackets. So this root 2 and that root 2 cancels. We just remain with 2 into 4. The answer is 2. Then we have plus. Then this 2 will factorize 2 and the root of 2, which is outside, meaning here, there will just remain with the root of 3. So when you look at this expression, it's exactly the same as that. We have managed to show. Alright, let's move on to the last question on question 1b. Alright, this is question 5, which says, show that root 27 plus root 21 times root 7 is, minus 6 root 3 is just the same as 8 root 3. So even this one is straightforward. So the root of 27 plus the root of 21. So we know that the root of 21 times the root of 7, let's first begin to deal with multiplication. You have to follow board mass, since this is mathematics. So you have to start with multiplication there. Would have started with division if we had division at any point, but in this case we don't have, so let us start with multiplication. So we'll start with dealing with that part. So you have to check that part. The root of 21 times the, sorry for that, okay, the root of 21 times the root of 7 is just the same as, so let me first write the root of 27 there. Then plus the root of 21 times the root of 7 is just the same as the root of 21 times 7. So we have minus 6 over the root of 3. Then from there, we also have, let me write the root of 27. We can simplify 21 times 7. The answer is simply just 147. So this can also just be written as the root of 147. So the root of 147, and then minus, we have 6 over root 3. So this, they want us to simplify it to this format. So the other thing that we can do here is, so we're going to multiply everything by the root of 3. So when you multiply the root of 27 by the root of 3, we're going to get 27 times 3, which is just 81. So we're going to have the root of 81, then plus the root of 3 times the root of 147. This will just be the root of 441. Then minus the root of 3 times 6 over the root of 3. That will just cancel with that, meaning just remain with 6 there. So from there, we can now the root of 81, this is just the same as 9, then plus the root of 441, that is just 21. Yeah, so 21 times 21, you get 441. So the root of 441, this is just 21. Then 21 minus 6. Okay, so I forgot to write over root 3 here. This is supposed to be something in form of a special one, so that when multiplied to this, it doesn't change anything. So when you multiply everything, when you multiply the numerator there, when you multiply the numerators there by the root of 3, we're going to get, the first one there will give us 9, the second one here will give us 21, then the third one here will give us 6, and then on top there we'll have 6 root 3, then everything divided by the root of everything divided by 3, not the root of 3. So set the eraser here. Oh, sorry, I've erased everything. Okay, let me just write it fast. So I said the first step that we are supposed to do is we multiply we multiply these two there. So I'm going to have the root of 27 there. And I think there was an error somewhere. So we have the root of 27 there, then plus plus the square root of 147. When we multiply 7 times 21, then we have minus 6 over the root of 3. So what you have to do here is we can multiply everything by root 3 over root 3, root 3 over root 3. Let's see where this will take us. Okay, so this will give us the root of 81 plus the root of root 3 times that. This will be the root of 81 over the root of 3. Then this will be the root of 441 over the root of 3. Then this one will give us 6 root 3 over 3. So we can simplify this further. Then the root of 81 there is 9 over the root of 3. And then we have plus, this one on top will give us the root of 441. The square root of 441, we said it's 21. So this one is just the same as 21 over the root of 3. And then we say minus 3 into 6, that is just 2 root 3. So from there now we can simply just add these two. So we are now able to add these two. So when you add these two, we're going to have 9 plus 21 there, since the denominators are the same, so we can just add the numerators. So 9 plus 21, that is just 30 over the root of 3. Then we have minus 2 root 3. So what we can do here, we can also rationalize the denominator. So we can also rationalize the denominator of just this part here. So when we do that rationalization, we're going to have, or if you don't want to do the rationalization of this part alone, you can find the first you can find the common denominator, then you do everything, you follow the steps. But the best way to do this is to say 30 over the root of 3 times root 3 over root 3 in brackets, then minus 2 root 3. And then 30 times the root of 3, this will give us 30 root 3. Then everything divided by root 3 times root 3, that will just give us 3. Then we have minus 2 root 3. Then what you are going to have here, 30 divided by 3, the answer is just 10. 10 root 3. Then minus 2 root 3. So when you subtract 10 root 3 minus 2 root 3, that will just give you 8 root 3. This is the answer that they wanted there. Yeah, so this is how you solve such a question. It's such a simple question. So make sure that you don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'm also going to send some solutions for physics, and don't forget to text me on any of these lines, so that I add you to the WhatsApp group where I'll be posting all these tutorial videos. So make sure that you text me, you contact me on these numbers on the screen, so that I add you to the WhatsApp group where I'll be posting the videos. See you in the next tutorial video. Shalom, shalom.